So everybody knows that poverty, disease, economic disparity are huge problems in the world. And if you think about it a little bit, you also realize that the culture clashes that we see, things like terrorism, things like many of the global ecological problems, global warming, stem from many of the exact same problems. But I don't believe in what the World Bank or the G8 do. The evidence is pretty good that they're not doing what they need to do. And I'm not a big fan of philanthropy. It helps. But in the things that I've seen, it's not doing things that are sustainable and are really intrinsic to the society. And I don't like the sort of bottom of the pyramid stuff that C.K. Prahalad preaches, where big corporations go in and sell things to the poor people so that they have things. What I would like to see is I'd like to see people in poor countries create their own businesses, serve their own people with the things that their people want to buy, create a third estate, which is a counterweight to corrupt governments, just like we have. It took us centuries to develop that, but that's why our society works, is because people created businesses that served people the things that they wanted. They were able to stand up to government. They were able to make things work. The rest of the world deserves no less. So how would you do something to actually help that out? Well, this is our answer. Is a quote from the president of MIT: investing in MIT students is like venture capital, only better. So Iqbal Quadir, who's the founder of Grameen Phone, and myself, raised $50 million from Legatum Capital to be able to fund entrepreneurs from developing countries to create their own businesses in health, in clean water, in all the things that people need. Could I have the next slide? So the general thing that we're going to do is we're going to take, running about 40 people a year, entrepreneurs from developing countries. We're going to bring them to MIT. We're going to beat them up. We're going to teach them the things they need to be successful, to be more successful. We're going to add in the venture capital networks that exist in the Boston area, the international networks of support that MIT and a few other places can provide, and mentoring and seed funding to send them back and be successful with the support of the whole world, the whole MIT network behind them. So I think it sounds good. You might say, oh, academic, what does he know about this? Right? Let me show you just a couple of the examples that we've done in the last couple of years. Go to the next slide. So this is a Brazilian fellow who noticed that in many countries everybody has a debt card because it's cheaper for the government to make payments that way, but there were no debt card readers. So that meant that people couldn't get cash out of these digital bank accounts. So what he did is he came up with a company called Way Systems that produces a little card reader that goes on the back of the cell phone that everybody in the world seems to have these days. And you see examples here, like someone selling inexpensive meals, someone selling guns, I guess maybe that's not the best, a mariachi band, all of which can take debt cards or credit cards off of their cell phone. It's called Way System. It's won several awards for banking. It works with some of the world's largest microcredit organizations, serves millions of people. Could I have the next one? Blue Energy. Another person, this person's from Nicaragua. So he came to MIT. He worked out a brand new way of building wind power turbines that are small scale and can be constructed locally. And what he's done is he set up a chain of co-ops throughout Central America where people build and sell wind power for local consumption. Pretty good. Just won an award from the Tech Museum and from CNN for this. Go to the next slide. Cell Bazaar. Information helps. Craigslist. Things that we take for granted on the internet help, but in most parts of the world you don't have that. So this fellow, who's from Bangladesh, created a Craigslist, maybe half Craigslist, half eBay, on cell phones. He has 15 million customers now. The website still says 13, so I put the more conservative down. Helping people buy things, sell labor, so on and so forth. I see I'm getting there in my 3 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a lot more of these. This one's sort of nice. It has health care for almost 100 million people in Africa. That's impact. Next slide. So what we would like from you is to participate by supporting entrepreneurs. Maybe you know people in interesting places that need a little bit of training, a little bit of networking, a little bit of seed funding. Maybe you're an investor and would like to put money in yourself.